So this is how I usually start my day. I first do my layout and then I start filling in my journal here and there. And I do this while I work because I work from home, so it's really easy for me in between tasks to write a few things. And I don't know what it is, but it really helps me get through the day because my job is kind of boring and it just helps me to keep myself stimulated. I think that's the reason why I chose to do such bright colors, because it just captures my attention and it just makes the day a little bit more colorful. And even though this has been a very structured and sort of strict layout, it has helped me so much for my daily journaling because I don't have to make decisions about the layout. I just decide the colors every day, and that's about it. I get to focus more on the actual journaling entry and the list that I do every day. And I don't have to make too many decisions or just think too much, because in the morning, especially before I had my coffee, I can't really think much. So yeah, this just provides a go-to layout so I can just go ahead and start the day. And as I mentioned in a previous video, I think the title is Mid-Journal Crisis. So when I reached the middle of this journal, I had a little bit of a crisis because I felt that this layout was too restrictive and I couldn't really do anything different. Of course, in the beginning, that actually helped me. As I mentioned before, it was all about not having to make so many decisions, creative decisions every day, and just focus on the journal. But as time went on and I kept the same layout day after day, I felt that I missed my more free-form journal that I had in the beginning, where I could just do any layout every single day. I would do something different, and it just gave me way more freedom if I wanted to do, let's say, more sketches or doodles within the text, or just to experiment with different layouts. And also the fact that it was a little bit less pressure because it was just a free-form journal. I could write whatever I wanted. It didn't have to be perfect. It didn't have to be aesthetic, let's say. This one, I needed it to look like this for so many reasons. And one of them was because I always struggled with consistency. And this was sort of like a practice for me, a practice of consistency and sticking to a project and finishing a project. So for me, finishing this notebook with this consistent layout and basically journaling every single day was important for that. It was important because I struggled, and it would be such a great accomplishment for me to be able to do this. I'm still not done, so we will see what happens, but it was important for me for that reason. Of course, I have many other reasons why I enjoy this layout, this specific design and the style, but I've talked about that in different videos, so I'm not going to go over that again. But in general, even though this was really important to me, I'm still considering whether I'm going to be doing the same thing next year. This whole year has been sort of a test and an experimentation to see if this style works for me and if I want to keep it for next year. And I've been struggling a lot with that idea, and in general with the type of system that I'll be using next year, because as I was doing this, I discovered that I have different kinds of needs in terms of planning and journaling. And I'm really trying to put everything together and create a perfect system. I know that many people in this community, they're struggling with that. And it's not really a problem because it gets you to experiment with different kinds of systems, different notebooks, different methods, layouts, and all of that. And that can be a lot of fun, right? But for me, it's really important to have an efficient system. And honestly, I don't want to worry about it anymore. I don't want to have such a hard time deciding. I want to have a solid system. I want to have one notebook. Okay, it's not going to be one, but you know what I mean? One system. And I don't want to have to think about it further. I want to just be able to focus on the content and focus on the journaling, on my tasks, and actually focusing on the functionality of that system instead of the system itself. And even though I understand that that's part of the process, I think it's important for me to really research everything and find the perfect system for me. And I have until the end of the year to figure it out. So far, I've tried something new, which is to add a memo book in the front of my journal here. So this is again a Hobonichi memo book. It's very thin and it's perfect for experimenting with different layouts. And I wanted to see if this weekly schedule would work for me. And even though it kind of didn't work for this week, because my schedule is a little bit different this week, I think it will work for me for next year. So I definitely want to incorporate a weekly schedule in my planning system. And then I also tried to do extra spreads, which resembles a lot more my previous journal, which was just more free form. There was no specific layout. I did use this specific style. So on the left we have some sort of a schedule and some to-do lists. On the right we have a little bit extra journaling and some notes and sketching. And I think this is what I miss the most, to be able to combine my journaling, my thoughts with my to-do lists or just general lists that I have in mind, and also some ideas that I have that I want to sketch out, but also some random doodles here and there. I really love this, but I found myself always going back to my classic style here. So I don't think I will be able to easily sort of get rid of this, because even though I tried something new, and throughout this week specifically, I was doing both of them, because this one is not that hard to do. It's much shorter. It's not like a full page like this one. I don't know what it was. I mean, maybe it's because I got used to it. Maybe it's the colors. Maybe I just love the results so much, and it gives me that satisfaction and sort of sense of accomplishment at the end of the day. But yeah, I couldn't let it go. I tried to sort of pause it and just continue with this one, but I couldn't. I kept going back to it. So I'm really wondering whether I'll be able to let this go, because I think initially I wasn't supposed to go past this notebook. I was supposed to just finish this with this specific style and then move on to something else, because I thought this was not very realistic, especially if I'm busy. By next year, my schedule is going to look very different. So I really don't know how realistic this is. So I really don't know. I really don't know. Do I want to keep this? Will it be daily? Will it be a part of my system? Or will I transition to something more casual like this one? This one gives more focus on the content and the scheduling and the efficiency, and not so much on the styling. So I think this is more efficient in daily life, especially if you're busy. But then I think that this could have a place in my life. Also, the fact that I do use this journal for practicing my drawing. I don't know what it is, but it's so hard for me to get a blank paper and just draw on it. I don't feel that I can do that. It just feels unnatural. But drawing on this small strip at the end of the journal just feels so natural, and I feel that it helps to channel my creativity without pressure. So I still think that there is a lot of value to this style, but I'm going to have to figure it out by the end of the year. And I do want to remain flexible. I don't want to commit to something specific for next year. So that's why I'll probably end up having a similar system where I have a Hobonichi plain notebook, because it's just blank. There's nothing in here. So I can just create anything I want, whether I want to do weekly spreads or monthly spreads, or continue with this daily spread here. I'll be able to do that. And also these companion memo books are perfect for me. Also, I ordered a cover for this, and I'm wondering if it can fit 2 of these notebooks. I'm not sure. I would love to try that as well, because I don't want to restrict myself. I want to be able to have this style, but also experiment with different styles, like this more freeform sort of journaling and planning. So I wish I could say that I'm going to have a specific system by the end of the year, and I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. But most likely it's going to be a bunch of more experimentation. I'm not sure if I can come up with a system by the end of the year. I don't think it's enough time. In the meantime, of course, I will keep experimenting and keep trying different things, and hopefully I'll be able to figure it out. But for now, I'm just enjoying the process, and I'm considering every option that I have, but always keeping in mind that I need flexibility and I need that freedom. Because I did mention in previous videos that I was considering getting the Hobonichi cousin, which kind of makes sense for me, because I could use this freeform style in the Hobonichi cousin and have that as my planner casual journal, and then at the same time keep a Hobonichi plain notebook for this specific style that I want to keep. But again, I don't know, it feels like too much pressure. It feels like I would feel pressured to finish up journal spreads and daily spreads in the Hobonichi cousin, and then I might feel like I'm neglecting this notebook. I don't know, I'm just not 100% confident that the Hobonichi cousin is going to be the one for me. It seems like it is, after all, like the perfect planning system, but I really don't know. I'm still going to consider it and perhaps try to simulate. I think this is kind of a simulation of the Hobonichi cousin, so I will keep experimenting to see what works. But for now, I feel that having both systems is really good for me, because I'm able to do all of my experimentations at the same time as I'm using my classic journal, my daily journal here. I didn't want to neglect it while I'm doing this experimentation, so I think this system here works for now. Because of my schedule this month, I will not be needing the weekly, because all I do is work right now, so there's nothing extra to do. I basically paused a few of my extra activities and extra projects. Actually, I paused everything because there's nothing else I can do. I work from 7 to 5, so there's no way for me to do anything else. So yeah, for now, it will be just work and journaling. There's nothing else I can do. Even on the weekends, all I can do is perhaps some filming and uploading a video, but other than that, I really don't have time or energy for any other projects. which is kind of sad, but at the same time I feel that that gives me the break that I needed. I felt that I pressured myself way too much to do everything, to work and do projects and run my shop and all of those tasks at the same time. And unfortunately, I reached burnout that took like a month to recover from, so I will not be attempting that again. But yeah, so far, I'm very happy with everything that I'm doing here. The journal is keeping me company throughout the long hours at work, and also I'm able to experiment with different layouts here. And I feel that the most important thing, it keeps me from feeling that I'm missing out on something. So yeah, so far I'm very happy with this. During this time I've been using my Hobonichi weeks as well. Not as much as I wanted to, because again, this month will be very busy at work, so I won't be able to do any extra projects. And usually I would use the weeks to write the extra tasks that I wanted to do. But for now, I'm just writing down very basic things like just reminders perhaps, or appointments and stuff like that. But I'm afraid this month my weeks will be a little bit neglected. So perhaps next week I can do a very different spread and experiment in here as well. I think I've already made my decision in terms of the weeks. I don't think I'll be purchasing this again next year. I feel that I need a way more extensive weekly schedule with an hourly schedule, so I can write down everything that I'm doing and how long it takes to do. I feel that tracking my time will really help me with my tasks and my productivity. So unfortunately, I will not have a use for the Hobonichi weeks, which is kind of sad. Perhaps I'll come back to it in the future, because I do think that this would be perfect for on the road, so something that you just take with you. But for now, as I'm spending most of the time in my office, I won't be needing this specific one. So yeah, that's it for the weeks. So this was supposed to be my birthday gift, and it just came early. My birthday is on the 21st of June. So yeah, I just wanted to do like a really quick stationery haul. I don't know if you recognize this, but this is from the YouTube channel In a Nutshell, and they do these amazing animations and illustrations, and I wanted to order from here for years. I don't know why I never did it. I guess I didn't have the budget for it, or it just didn't seem like a good time. But I finally did it for my birthday. It was a great excuse to do that. So yeah, besides this, I also got a poster. I didn't put it up yet, so maybe I'll put it up today and show an image here. But other than that, I got these tiny notebooks. They're called pocket logs. I think I'm going to start with the stickers. I really love anything space themed. Especially, I do have a bit of a fascination with black holes, so I really love this one. Kinda smells plastic, but it's not unpleasant. This is the back. These are so amazing. I think I like these ones more. Planets, it's just so pretty. So, oh my gosh, the quality of this is so, oh my goodness, this is amazing. It has this matte finish. That's amazing. Here you can write your name. I love this color. Wow. Just the color combinations. And usually I don't go for lined notebooks, but for this one I had to make an exception, you know. Oh, and it's actually not all lined, so it has sections. So the first section is lined, and then you have dots. This is so gorgeous. Wow, that is beautiful. So these are the dots, and then another poster. Wow. So pretty. And then the grid begins. Grid is my favorite, but this one I wish it was a little bit like lower on opacity. I think it has too much color, but it will work. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. And this is the final one. So pretty. Wow, and here we have like a blank page, but with these lines. I'm not sure what they are for. But I'm absolutely in love with this. Oh wow, and there's a schedule at the back. I did not expect that. So these have the same kind of cover as the notebook, which is so wonderful. I've never seen anything like this. It has such a beautiful matte finish. These are very similar to the field notes in terms of size. So this one are dots, which I'm not crazy about dots, but I do prefer it to lines. And there's a beautiful illustration here. And this is the space themed, I guess. So this is Mars. Probably all of them is Mars, I'm not sure. There's no water in Mars, so... Oh, it's like the ancient waters of Mars. I have to read this. I am in love with these colors. Wow. German design studio, and they have the YouTube channel In a Nutshell, or Kurzgesagt. Kurzgesagt. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that. I'm learning German, so hopefully I'm not pronouncing that too horribly because I really want to learn the language. So but this is the space themed and it's so beautiful. I think it's gonna be my favorite. And this is the dinosaur one. Wow. Again with the dots. This one I think has variation. This is the next one, and this is lined. So for the lined ones, I was thinking I could do, because I hate to write in this, I wouldn't do this as a commonplace notebook or anything like that. So I think I might be using one of these as a budget notebook, because it's the one thing that I haven't done yet, to keep like a detailed budget, and I really need to do that. So I might be using one of the lined ones. I think this is the only lined one I'm gonna have out of everything, so I'm probably using this one. This must be okay. This is blank. I'm not crazy about blank either, but it could be great for, I don't know, maybe sketching or stickers, something like that. But yeah, this is so pretty. And the rest of them I believe are just dots, no lines or anything. Oh, a little duck, so pretty. So I haven't really decided what to write in these, because I already have, you know, a bunch of active notebooks right now. But this is very similar to the field notes, so I might be using them in a similar way, except for the lined one, which is probably going to be my budget notebook. Haven't thought about that too much yet, because like in general I want to start doing budgeting. Let me know if you're interested in that kind of content. But I also wanted to do something similar to cash stuffing, but I don't want to use a binder, because also I don't really deal with cash all the time. But yeah, I guess this I'll be discussing that in the next video, because this one is already getting way out of hand. So I'm really excited to use these. They're so beautiful. I can't wait to get started on these, and I'm probably going to start a collection. They're just so beautiful. The colors are amazing. The illustrations, just so pretty. So yeah, this is it for the pocket notebooks. So again, we have the same kind of paper, which is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, wow. That is wow. This is, I mean, it's clearly geared towards kids. I understand that. But it already gives you some experiments to do or activities to discover like the world and physics, I imagine. And this must be amazing for children to do. And honestly, this is probably the prettiest book I've ever seen. Oh, here you can sketch things. You can sketch the clouds. Should I actually do these? Oh my gosh, I'm so tempted. Because I used to do this as a child. Like, I would take a notebook and go outside and just sort of write observations and take leaves and glue them on the pages and write about the weather and stuff like that. I wish I could find that notebook again because it was so nice. This was an amazing choice for a gift. I'm so glad I did this. I think this is the highest form of self-love, you know, to gift yourself something that you love so much. And I'm such a fan of the channel, and I watch all their videos. I'm obsessed with their style of art. I'm very inspired by it, and it's just such a unique illustration style that they developed so well. And I really appreciate that. And this, to me, I think this is what made me actually order this time, because I find this such a creative project that can bring so much joy. And it probably took forever to create this, because just researching and putting together all of these ideas, I appreciate that so much. So yeah, I think that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below. Please subscribe and like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.